let's get into some hot tea and small shade. Right? I saw this clip on TikTok the other day, and it was a mom. Oh, thank you.
Thank you
very much.
How do you know I like whipped cream?
Like we were saying, there was this mom on TikTok, and she was basically talking about how her son said he wanted to be like LeBron James, the basketballer. But she was like, more like LeBron James, maybe the father, maybe maybe the coach, actor or the coach or something, but not LeBron, the basketballer. Now, I want to know, what do you think about this? If, as a parent, you know that your child has an aspiration, but they're not very good at it, will you outrightly tell them, look, nah, it's not going to happen? Or will you just lie and, be like, yay?
First of all, it depends on the stage that they're at. First things first, you do not record stuff like that and put it online. That's bad. I've got 2 young boys. I want them to dream big. I want them to pursue their dreams. I think every parent needs to realize that it is very important as your child pursues his or her dreams. If they fail, you kind of need to let them. Because you don't want a situation where your child, grows up and they now feel like, oh, mommy and daddy didn't let me pursue certain dreams. And I think sometimes failing isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes you need to fail to get to where you actually need to be. I sound like a motivational speaker.
No, I'm smiling because I'm thinking, so is this what the people on Idols do when they come and sing rubbish? So is there a family that's like, yeah, you could do it, but meanwhile they're singing rubbish?
No, but see, that one is different because that's these are like adults. But I think kids, it's very important. Like my son, for example, my first son. When I call him Prince, he's like, don't call me Prince. Because I'll be like, oh, my little Prince. He's like, don't call me Prince. He's like, call me Engineer. That's it. And I'm just like, engineer. So I love that he's dreaming like that. I love that he's building all these different things. Is he going to be an engineer? I don't know. But I think it's my job as a parent to encourage him to do whatever he wants to do.
Because let's say he gets to uni level, right?
Yes.
And God forbid, all the classes that he has to take, he's not doing very well in them. God forbid.
Why is my son not going to do
well? Wait now, but he's doing well in other things like music classes and arts and, other things. What will you say? And he still wants to be this engineer.
So he wanted to be an engineer, but he's now doing better in music and everything.
Yeah.
Then he'll become a whiz kid. It's simple.
Who saw that clip with the Ghanaian guy? Apparently there was a church next to him that was always making noise. So he went in there with 3 big Alsatian dogs and he was shouting, but they just continued preaching and dancing and singing around. They didn't even pay attention. See, he should have just let the dogs loose.
What if they attack somebody?
Good, so that they can shut up. Because really, what kind of nonsense is that?
I've heard so many stories. I've known quite a few people that have lived next to a church and literally 3 a.m. praise and worship. There was somebody that complained to me so much. There was one time she actually called me and it sounded like they were doing praise and worship in her house.
What is that?
And they look at you like you're Satan when you complain.
I don't think that any of the religions that we know of say that you should disturb people with praise or whatever. Pray to your maker, or to your God, or to whatever it is, but leave people out of it. Why?
Let people sleep. But anyways, I'm just tired of the fact that people, you know what, this actually spills into so many different religions. There was a recent story where I think it ended up getting physical. There was a bit of violence where it was a Friday and some people that actually stopped, parked their cars in the road, got out to pray.
That thing happens a lot in Nigeria, and I find it very, very distasteful. You shouldn't do that.
I just think
you have a prayer house for that. You have a religious house for that. I don't see the reason why you should block any road.
So what if you have people that are like, oh, it's my religion, it's something I believe in.
So they wrote in your religion that you should block the road to pray.
This is super important now. Anyways, so yeah, this one I was like, okay. I felt like it was a bit harsh, but I kind of understood because they must have stressed his life. They must have stressed his life for him to actually bring dogs there.
No, what I would have done is taken banga or something. Pow, pow, pow. Not dogs. Pow.
Okay. Speaking of racial ambiguity, a lot of people were talking about Beyonce when she was going to the premiere or for the premiere of Renaissance World Tour.
What did you say? Renaissance?
Renaissance.
Renaissance.
That's American,
Hello.
Whatever. So a lot of people are talking about how she looked for the Renaissance World Tour. Is it movie premiere?
Yes.
And how she looked very, very white. And then Mama Tina.
Yes, her mom.
She actually was very, very upset.
She wrote a whole thing.
But I don't blame her. I love the way she stands up. And I think that because Beyonce doesn't really say a lot, so I feel that her mom gets a lot of it. So she's probably like, leave my baby alone. It's something that I would probably do as well.
I totally understand. And I feel that people who are trying to disturb Beyonce about looking a certain way should shut up. This woman has done a whole album, love letter to Africa. She has given us My Power, given us all these songs, collaborated with Afrobeat artists. She has told you that she's proud of her Negro nose. What do you want again?
She's giving us brown skin girl.
Thank you. What again? People need to just get out.
And they need to leave Blue Ivy alone. So I went to see Beyonce in Paris, and that was the first time that Blue Ivy came out. And if I'm going to be very honest, we were shocked to see her. And there was also, you could tell that she was a little bit timid, but she's 10 or 11? That was do you know how many people? I think if I ever had to go on the stage like that with so many people, I don't even know if I'd be able to speak.
And she didn't come out to wave. She came out, did a whole routine.
She did a whole routine.
People were like, oh, she's stiff. She's this. She's 11.
So apparently during this movie, we now find out that Blue Ivy saw these comments, and rather than she went online and she saw these comments, rather than just say I'm not doing this again, she was determined to work harder, and she killed it.
Yes.
Towards the end of the tour, she was killing it.
Yeah, they did a side by side video first night and then last night, and it was really good. And people over here, as in they've been criticizing this girl since she was in diapers.
From her
hair is not combed. To this, your child is 11 and still eating sand. Keep quiet. Right. So did you see this clip with Gabrielle Union where she was talking about how a friend of hers had told her that she was up for a job, an acting gig, and they were trying to lowball her. So she so I think her friend told her about it, and then they kind of knew that they would come to her next. And then so they called Gabrielle, and she was like, no, she asked for the exact same thing that her friend asked for. And so they moved down the line. If you're considering someone for a role, there are other people who...
A black actress.
Yes, a black actress, a certain type.
Yes.
The next
Gabrielle
person
Union,
they will call.
There's
Regina.
Is it Sanaa Lathan? There's Regina Hall.
What's this lady? This lady that was in Scandal. Kerry Washington. So those people, what's her name? Taraji Henson. That's their set. So I'm suspecting it was them, and they went from person to person, and they all made some sort of pact to ask for the same thing that their initial friend asked for, so that they would have to go back. And I watched it and I sent it to the group, and I said this would never happen in Nigeria, because I feel like we're in such competition with each other to the extent that it's become toxic. What do you think?